Greetings and welcome back to Taste Bud Therapy. I am your host, Chef Green, and today, as promised, I am going to show you how to make your own probiotic drink. Yes, I said probiotic drink. And so I usually get pineapple juice, and because pineapple juice is better for me and my digestion as a blood type A person, but I didn't have any today. I couldn't find it in a grocery store. What they did have was pear juice. 100% organic pear juice, no sugar added, and no artificial colors. No artificial colors or any artificial sweeteners or flavors. And what I like about pear juice is it has a lot of pulp. And from what I've read, pulp actually helps the fermentation process go along a little bit better. So we're going to talk about the probiotic that I use, which is actually not a probiotic, even though they label it as a probiotic. It's Saccharomyces boulardii. I'm not sponsored by any of these brands, but if you guys are looking for a someone to sponsor, Chef Green, holla at me. So we're going to use one capsule. It's down a little bit so you can see. Take one capsule. Make sure your hands are clean. Empty the capsule and let it sit in room temperature for 48 hours to 72 hours. And you will have your very own fruit wine. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like some fruit wine. And that's probably why we had better microbiome hundreds of years ago, because when people were making their own wines at home, they were using whole ingredients, And this is a product that can help you heal your leaky gut or prevent you from having leaky gut if you travel out of the country or if you get sick here in the States and you have a bad case of diarrhea. That drink would help. Or just taking the Saccharomyces boulardii by itself. I just think that putting it in the juice makes it a little bit more potent. And fermenting it makes it a little bit more potent. So the Saccharomyces has 5 billion CFUs. Yep, 5 billion CFUs. And make sure that you keep this refrigerated. It says it supports balance of intestine flora, I'm sorry. Not fluoride. That's terrible. So yes, taking Saccharomyces boulardii has been a game changer for me as I've been learning more about my blood type, my dosha, studying Ayurveda, and getting my gut back in order has been a relief. So I usually do the pineapple. I have fermented the pomegranate juice and cherry. I have not done pear before. It's my first time. I'm sure it's going to come out good. But like I said, make sure that your juice is an organic juice and it doesn't have any artificial colors or any artificial anything in it. Make sure it's nice and clean, and let it sit for 48 hours or longer. So like if you taste it and it's sweet, you want to start over. Not start over, you want to let it sit a little longer on your countertop or wherever you put it. You want it to sit a little longer until you get that fermented taste. So I got this from Dr. William Davis. This is his book, Super Gut. And I really enjoyed reading this, talking about the power of having good microbiome and noticing that a lot of people that are around us that are cruel, unhappy, miserable, it's usually because of something that's starting in their gut, something that's going on in their gut that's kind of dull, so they can't really put a finger on it, or they probably went to the doctor or just ignored it. But a lot of irritation, a lot of miserable people, unfortunately, have a gut issue. Their microbiome is wiped out. Maybe they went to the dentist and got prescribed some antibiotics. Maybe they got hurt and had to take antibiotics for a long time and didn't take a probiotic to help them restore their microbiome, because antibiotics wipes out good and bad. So it just deplete you. So imagine a world where we knew how to get our intestines, our gut back in order. Imagine. So not only do we have guts that are not functioning properly, we also have parasites that are running wild. Imagine not having all of your natural warriors, all your natural bacteria, the good bacteria that go to bat for you every day. Imagine having none and just having parasites go wild and bad bacteria just go wild. Yeah. Think about the person that is miserable. 9 times out of 10, it's because of the gut. We're not taught how to heal ourselves from the inside out. We're taught to take a pill, to put a band-aid, and to keep it moving. Never fully healing, never really getting the answer to what's going on until you take a step back and take full responsibility of your own health and start to do your own research, self-discovery, like I've been doing. And, taking responsibility for your own life and your own health is a full-time job. And a lot of times, because we're so busy trying our best to make money, to keep the roof over our head and the cars that we drive and the clothes on our backs, sometimes having to do the maintenance, regular maintenance on your own body, when you're not paying attention, can be a lot of work to some people. But that's when we have to check in with ourselves and figure out what the number one priority is. Because if you're not well, you can't hustle. You can't really work. You can't really be a functioning human being going out and getting it. I mean, you can, but are you happy? Are you causing misery and stress to other people because you're out of order inside? Something to think about. So learning my blood type, learning my dosha, studying Ayurveda has definitely helped transform, because I already thought I was eating good. I was plant-based for a really long time, then selective pescatarian, and then back to being a plant-based 100%. So I thought that I was eating good, and I knew the things that I naturally made my body feel irritated, so I stopped eating those things. But once I found out what my dosha was, I'm Vata, by the way, and then after doing more deep research, I found out that my Vata was out of balance. I quickly understood why I wasn't sleeping properly. I quickly understood why I was so gassy. I quickly understood like the cracks, the pains, the achy pains. When you get up, your body's cracking. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm dehydrated. I don't feel old. I know I'm getting older, but I don't feel old. But when I'm getting up, I'm cracking. I'm like, what's going on? But since I started eating according to my blood type, which naturally thrives on a plant-based lifestyle. I don't like to say diet. Also with some fish, not all fish, but some. And paying attention to my dosha, things have changed for me. No more gas. I'm sleeping better. I just feel better. I'm not cracking and, every time I get up. And it wasn't always, during the period of me like really being out of balance with my dosha. Oh man. And I probably was getting like 2 hours of sleep at night. The good thing about me is that I'm not that person who wants other people around me to be miserable because I'm not feeling well. People wouldn't know that I wasn't sleeping. Some people, when they don't get enough sleep, they're irritable. They're really bitchy. That's not me. So in fact, when I was telling my mom like I'm not sleeping, she was surprised because she thought that I was getting my rest when I wasn't. And I was becoming really concerned because I know that the healing process happens while we're sleeping, especially our gut, especially our heart and our nervous system. Family, coming up out of a toxic relationship and trying to get your nervous system back in order and trying to like really focus and get back to yourself, it's a journey. And I had to pay close attention to myself to figure out what was going on, because I knew that no doctor was gonna I mean, they only get to spend like 15 minutes with you if they're good, you know? No one's going to get to the cellular level like me because it's my body. I care about myself. I want to feel better. I know what feeling better, what feeling whole feels like. And I know what feeling bad feels like. And knowing that blood type A people don't really produce enough bile to break down certain flesh. That's why eating red meat has never been, even when I was young and I didn't have this information, I always loved fruits and vegetables. I was never someone who likes steak or burgers and things like that, and not even having the knowledge, just naturally listening to my body. I've always been this way. I've always been in tune with my body. So I forgot my thought, but I was saying that to say that, it's our responsibility. And I know that when our guts are out of order, our life is out of order. There's a lot of people who can still get up and go and grind, but the rest of their lives, they might have money in the bank, but the rest of their lives are in shambles. And it's important for us to look at our life as a whole. I want to be, I desire to be, and I'm working towards being fully feeling whole from the inside out. That's my mission every day. I wake up with that every day. How can I feel better? Not superficial. What can I do to add on to my life? And when I'm looking at food, I'm looking at what is this food doing for me? It's like when you're investing in companies, you want to know what the return of investment is, right? You want to know what the outcome will be. So when I'm eating and I'm choosing my breakfast, my lunch, or my dinner, I'm usually only eating um, twice a day. I used to only eat once a day, but twice a day. Something fruit in the morning and a whole meal in the afternoon. But when I'm doing that, I'm asking myself, I'm looking at the ingredients. What is this doing for me? How does this make me feel? Last time that I've experienced this food, what did I feel? Did it give me energy? Did it make me go to sleep? Did it make my eyes blurry? I can always tell when something's not good for me when I eat it and I instantly get tired or my eyes get blurry. And I just found out that that is due to the liver. When your eyes get blurry, it's something going on with your liver. So whatever I ate, my liver didn't agree with it. It didn't like it. Oh, that's what I was saying. Blood type A people, we don't produce enough bile to break down certain foods. So eating like raw, when I was raw back in 2012, 2013, almost a part of 2014, my body was constantly cold. I felt good. I thought I was doing something, but come to find out, like eating raw food can be very detrimental to a Vata person. And, eating raw greens I need to blanch my raw greens. I need to saute them. So learning about yourself is so vital for your vitality. So learning about making my own fermented drink to help restore my gut using probiotics. And you can always use probiotics like kimchi, sauerkraut, whatever fermented food you like. Pickles. It's important for me not to eat them right out the refrigerator. So I take those things out the refrigerator and put them on a counter, let them sit for a few hours, and then I'll consume it. So it's just all about knowing who you are, your own design, and not following what everyone else is suggesting because they're finding out what works for them. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of times what I find out is that these people are trying these things for a day or two. They might find another YouTube video. Somebody might say something and sell them on a product. They'll go get it and they'll try it one day, maybe 2, maybe 3 max. And then they create a video about it and they sell you on it because they have the gift of gab. I do long trials on myself first before I get up here and share with the world. So I'm hoping that you guys all find out what your dosha is, what your blood type is, what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you. I'm not telling you that being plant-based is 100% for you. And what I would say is that eating a plant-based diet, no matter who you are, if you are sick, plant-based and fruit can bring you back to life. It can wake up the dead, if you do it the right way. But I'm not going to sit here and subscribe to saying that I think everyone should be raw or everyone should be plant-based long term. We are not all created equal. We all have things that are beneficial and not beneficial to us, and it's our job to figure out what that is. And even when I do juice cleanses or teas for people, I'm asking them a series of questions so I can get to understand who they are on a cellular level. And then I'm creating something tailored to them. And I've been doing that since 2012, before all these food gurus came out. I've been doing that for the longest because I understood that I wasn't like everyone else. And I've recently I think I talked about this before, I had an experience with a naturopathic doctor. I told him all the things that I was allergic to when it came to food, and whatever they wrote for me, the prescription that they wrote for me on what to do had all the foods that I was allergic to. So you know what I felt like? This person didn't listen to me. They wasn't listening to me. They are giving me some cookie cutter thing that they have been using to help heal other people. And they're just giving it to everyone and saying, take this, eat like this, and then take these herbs, and then and let's see what results you get. So that's what I'm saying. We all have to take responsibility to figure out who we are. A lot of us don't know who we are because the parasites are running your life. The parasites are making you choose the garbage. The parasites are making you choose your partner, your sexual partner. Parasites are always looking for a new host. Once you heal and you start looking at people, you're like, what was I thinking? Why would I be attracted to this person? Once you heal your body and your mind gets clear, man, your mind gets clear because your gut is clear. Your gut is clean, And once I started taking this fermented juice the first time, I can feel it going down my esophagus, going throughout my body, and sitting in my dantian, I can feel it, and I can feel instant, like my body was telling me this is working. This is working for us. All of my cells in my body was responding, saying this is working for us. Give thanks. I'm going to continue to use this. I'm going to add this to my practice because I'm listening to the cellular response of my body. And that's what we all have to do. And I have suffered with leaky gut for a long time. And I know that I've had surgeries, I've had, root canals, which I wish I never did. And I've had to take antibiotics for long periods of time. And what does that mean? It's happening to my gut. It's wiping out all of my good bacteria, right? It's not just wiping out the bad bacteria. It's not just getting the infection. It's taking out everything, which leaves me which leaves me open to getting sick, easily getting colds and all these things. And people are like, oh, I have a weak immune system. No, you don't have your microbiome. Your warriors are wiped out. The microbiomes that our ancestors had and what we have going on today are drastically different. We're in a negative. And next time I do a video, I'm going to show you guys how to make Dr. Williams yogurt. It's not an actual yogurt, but you eat it like a yogurt, and it basically, where's the book? You eat it like a yogurt, and it has billions of microbiome, billions of probiotics that really makes you feel good. And the studies are showing that once you restore your microbiome, you are more attractive. People are more attracted to you. Like they're like, what have you been doing with yourself? What is different about you? You lose a lot of people have said that they lost a lot of weight around their waist. A lot of them have said that the muscle mass has improved. The suppleness of their skin has improved. They're naturally glowing. I want that. So I've tried it. I've made his yogurt, several times, and it took me a while to get the batch. I've fumbled a lot. This is all a science project, like I used to tell people when people used to come to my house, they felt like they was coming to a lab because I always had something cooking up, something fermenting, something was going on. So you have to become your own scientist. And so when I was making the yogurt from this book, I didn't have the book at first. I was looking at his YouTube channel before I got the book, and it didn't come out right. There was like pink stuff on top, and that's, I guess they're saying like sometimes it can be like some airborne things going on in your house, which made me think like because everything was clean. So I'm like, wow, there could be something in my home as well that is causing issues. And that's a whole nother topic, like us living in these boxes, these expensive boxes that are making us sick. Like there's hidden things like mold, there's things that we don't know that's in these houses. A lot of these houses are old, the air quality. So I got it to a point where I like the yogurt, how it's coming out. And I made some at my mom's house and I like the way it came out. And I also got a new yogurt maker machine. And the first time I used it, I got a brand new machine. So I don't know what was going on. But I didn't stop. I kept trying. So the next time I'm gonna do a video on showing you how to make his yogurt, the super gut yogurt. I want us all to get better. I want us all to be well. I want us to be living our best lives. Like you don't have to be rich to live a good life. I mean, being rich helps, but you don't want to be rich and poor in your gut. You don't want to be sick and rich. Like, you want to be rich and healthy because health is wealth. So I pray that you find this video helpful. And if you like it, you subscribe and you share it with your family and your friends. I would love to hear from you in the comments. I would love to hear what probiotics that you find that have been helpful for you in your gut health. How did you cure yourself from leaky gut? Have you ever used Saccharomyces boulardii? And what benefits have you found for yourself? Please share. This is a community and you never know. Your testimony might help someone else. But I feel like there's no but. I feel and I know that once we all heal our guts, the world will look and feel like a better place. And I think we're on our way. I think a lot of people are wanting to be better, do better, and feel better. So I'm looking forward. In my present moment, I'm actively taking responsibility for my health and my well-being, my wealth, and I know that other people are doing the same thing, and that means that our future is definitely going to be better because we're going to be healed. We're going to be a healed nation, and that's what I'm praying for daily. I'm praying for that for you, for your family. Because, like I said, a lot of us have parasites just running our lives. And when you don't have a strong team on a cellular level, your microbiome, if you don't have that, that's one of the reasons why people are out here going crazy. A lot of people are hungry. They're hungry and their stomachs are out of order. So naturally they're going to be frustrated. Why would there's certain things like once you learn stuff, like you can't really engage with people. Arguing with people, it's just, sometimes you can get caught off guard because I've gotten caught off guard before, outside cutting me off, someone, I'm at a restaurant, I'm at a store, someone talking crazy, and I'm like, part of me is like wanting to engage. And sometimes I do. I'm not even going front. Sometimes I do engage. But at first, I'm thinking like, you hungry, your stomach hurt. You got dull pains throughout your body, you don't know why. And sometimes you can see, like you can look in people's eyes, you can look at their tongue, look at their face. I've been doing this for a while and you can see it. Like it tells you everything. So a lot of times I do give a lot of people grace because why would I argue with someone that's not well? A lot of times that's where the mental illness is coming from. So again, thank you for tuning in to Taste Bud Therapy. This is your host, Chef Green. Please like and subscribe, share with your people. I love you, and I'm praying that you get well, that we all get well together. We all take responsibility for ourselves. And I'm looking forward to sharing more recipes with you and more ways to heal, have a more healthier lifestyle. I'm going to be coming here with other guests so we could all, share our wellness, share our creativity together. I'm actually hungry right now. That's why I can't speak. So have a good one. Be well on purpose so you can get into your purpose. Peace.